Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you, December 30th, 2025. This is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. Hope you're having a great Tuesday, second to last day of 2025. Still time to get those resolutions in, everybody. You got 2 more days left, and our second to last Kentucky Roll Call. I'm TJ Walker, joined across the table with Stephen Peak, and in the other room is one producer, Matt Childress. How's everybody doing? What's up? How y'all? What's going on?
Just counting down the days to the end of 2025. TJ, we're almost there.
Count to 2. We're there.
Yep, we're there. Lots of stuff to talk about today.
There is.
We came in, as soon as you sat down, we already discussed like 3 or 4 topics.
Scoots had me cracking up because he made a Stranger Things reference that is not even all that funny. It's not even all that good of like a reference.
Is it his dream?
It was his dream, but it was super topical to like the Stranger Things episode I watched last night. So when he was telling it, for me to picture, Scoots had a dream in Stranger Things that he was building, instead of building tunnels, which is in Stranger Things, which is not a spoiler, he was building skate parks. But if you know, you know. It's one of the, what's the acronym? I-Y-K-Y.
Like the letters for if you know, you know?
You know the letter. Like you know if you know. You know if you, I-K-Y-K-Y. If you know, you know. But it was so funny hearing Scoots talk about it because he said that he just was having a 6-hour dream of him building skate parks all across Pekin, Indiana. Which is pretty close to Hawkins, Indiana. But yes, that got me all giggly going into the show today.
Yeah, I walked in and he was like, "You're into Stranger Things, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I am." And then he comes up and goes, "How far are you?" And I told him, like, last night I watched the first episode because I don't have Netflix, so I have to wait until I go to my girlfriend's house and we watch it together. And then he just was like, "Ah, dang it," and then didn't tell me. So now I'm on a cliffhanger right now.
That sounds about right. Your girlfriend doesn't trust you with the logins?
Why? We don't live in the same house. Netflix says that's a big no-no.
Yeah, but only if you're doing it at the same time. Only if you're streaming at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, you can be, like, they're not going to, they don't know if it's your girlfriend in your location or in her location, as long as it's just one streaming at a time.
Well, it's linked to your zip code, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can, oh, you're so cute, Matt. You can watch, like, Netflix if you're on vacation.
Yeah, but it gives you the option of, like, oh, I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, you can be logged in on your phone.
He's too honest. He's like, they don't know that it's not your girlfriend.
If you're telling me that when I go when I travel and YouTube TV pops up the "Are you traveling?" I'm not hitting no. I'm hitting yes. I am traveling.
Yes.
I'm taking that with me.
You say that you're traveling. They're not going to know that you're not.
Why don't you call Netflix and check in, make sure it's okay with them?
Paulette or Paulina?
Paulina.
So she was just going to be a Paul.
Maybe.
Probably.
I feel like that. Honestly, I'd be kind of disappointed because I feel like Paul is just lazy. Like they put all the effort towards the girl name. Like Paul was the backup. They're like, dang it, it's a guy. I guess we'll go with Paul.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I looked at. You know what? That's a good outlook, producer Matt. I looked at it the other way of like, all right, we're gonna have a little Paul. Can't wait. Oh no. Paulina.
That and Nina.
But you know what? It could exactly be the other way. I like that. Did you have a nice Monday night, producer Matt? Were you with Paul?
No, I hung out with her a little bit yesterday after this show before I had to come back and do the late night shows. But last night I really just watched Monday Night Football, recorded some stuff, and then went to bed. It was pretty chill night last night. I enjoyed it.
That sounds really nice. Did you finish the game?
Yes, I did.
Is that like a dumb question for a youngster like you?
No, I go to bed at 10:30 some nights, but I also go to bed at 3 a.m. some nights. So my sleep schedule is all over the place right now. This holiday break has killed me.
Vacation probably didn't help, I imagine.
It did not. No. I can't get in between. I'm either falling asleep at 10:30 or I'm not falling asleep till 4. I don't know what it is.
Oh my goodness, I could not even imagine. Are you reading an entire book?
No, I'm just lying in the dark. Just lying there, just contemplating existence for 4 hours.
Are you building tunnels or skate parks?
I'm actually dreaming of building tunnels and skate parks.
All right. If you're a Stranger Things fan, you understand the reference. If you don't, this first 10 minutes has just been worthless.
So you just lay in the dark, Matt, waiting to fall asleep? You can do that?
I mean, if I can't sleep, yeah.
Well, did you just ask if he lays in the dark to fall asleep?
Well, yeah,
Isn't that the premise?
All my lights are on, TV's on, I got the radio on.
If I do that, if I lay there and try to fall asleep, my brain won't shut off. So I'll keep myself awake. I'll start having the existential thoughts that.
So how do you fall asleep?
So for the longest time, it was The Office would just have to be on because it had to be a show that wouldn't like.
So eventually, you just lose consciousness.
Yes,
and then you just wake up,
black out. The melatonin.
One that
finally
you've seen so
kicks
many
in.
times, you're not interested in all. You just listen.
Exactly. It has to be familiar. It can't be a new show that's like, oh, what did they just say? It has to be something like The Office that I know every single line of, and it's just comforting and it allows me to fall asleep. The worst is like just falling asleep to TikTok, like just mid scroll, and then my phone falls out of my hand, hits the ground, and wakes me up.
I've done that before with like YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's funny you do that. I went in high school and middle school. I did the same thing, except my show was Family Guy. I had seen Family Guy so many times I could quote almost every episode word for word. So it was almost I literally could not go to sleep without Peter Griffin talking in my ears. I could not do it. It was like Morgan Freeman, like with a glass of milk, walking by my bed, just ready to read me a bedtime story.
Yeah, like I'll try to put on like podcast or some type of music because if it's just if I'm alone with my thoughts at the end of the night,
that is so fascinating.
I'm not falling asleep. It can get pretty dark pretty quick.
I broke that habit with egregious amounts of melatonin in my life.
Yeah, I do the melatonin. I think I might have shared this before, but they put me on Ambien for a long time, and that would just have me mildly hallucinate until I fell asleep.
He wasn't sleeping. He was just having night terrors.
I think I really was. It was. I know it works for some people, so I won't say that don't do it. But I did not enjoy my experience with Ambien.
I would imagine you probably would not have. Ambien is that's the big leagues.
Yeah, no, I graduated to Ambien. Did some, when I was younger, it was the Tylenol PMs But see, if you wake up on those, you just feel terrible. Yeah, you don't even feel like you slept.
No.
So I got
I agree with that.
Removed that from my life pretty quickly. But yeah, I can't fall asleep to silence. I just can't. I can't. I haven't been able to. It was always a struggle as a kid when like we had to turn our TVs off or we had to set a timer on our TVs, and then when it went off, it was you weren't allowed to turn it back on, and I would just sit there and roll, just toss and turn. So I'm always interested in like Jacqueline. She has no problem falling asleep to nothing. I'm like, what is it that your brain you just don't think about anything? How does that work?
It for me, because I have like severe ADHD, so that's how it started when I was a kid. I was the same way. If I just lay down, turn everything off, I'm just thinking about stuff, just random junk. So I couldn't go to sleep. I literally just eventually, like the Family Guy outlet came to be, and then after a while I couldn't sleep without it. So I was like, that's a big problem. So then I took melatonin for a long time. Now it's to the point where I've kind of gotten to I can like feel when I'm going to be able to go to sleep or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty normal.
As in, no, I mean like I can feel if it's going to take me 5 hours to fall asleep, or if I'm going to be able to fall asleep within 35 minutes. Like I know it's just a little. It's not like a tiredness. It's like my body is ready to go, or even if my body's too tired, my brain will be so active at night. I know I'm going to be up till 4 a.m. So I'll have a movie on, my phone out. I'll be listening to a podcast at the same time while watching TikTok, and I'm just like, maybe I just actually kill my brain cells to the point they fall asleep themselves.
One fascinating thing about getting older, and we're going to segue the conversation from this to the next topic, which is, again, getting older sort of deal. You notice you can kind of learn your body a lot better. Like I know when I'm super tired and I'm about to conk out. And Peak, I used to never be a like fall asleep on the couch guy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my dad would fall asleep on his lazy boy, and I'd just be like, "What? How? Don't you need like a pillow and a knee pillow?" I'm a big knee pillow guy. I got to have a pillow between my knees.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, "How could a human possibly do that? You got to have the fan on, maybe the window cracked open. It's got to be there." Like I was a pretty picky sleeper. I am my father now, where the wife and I will put on Stranger Things and 3 minutes in, it's like she's having to nudge me, and I'm like, oh, what? How? Like, how did that happen? What just happened? How did I fall asleep? I have unfortunately turned into the, like, it doesn't, as long as I am comfortable, I think I can now fall asleep anywhere. Where 3 years ago, 5 years ago, I had to have the perfect climate to be able to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, and it's like 3 days in advance, I know when I'm going to get sick. Like, there's a little scratch in my throat, but I feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not good. Sometimes I'll work out, and I'll just be like, why am I dragging so much? That's not right. And it's like, I feel like I'm about to get sick. Sure enough, 2 or 3 days
pattern
later.
recognition?
I think that's probably what it is. It's just like, I can now tell. I can tell when I'm going to have a good night's sleep versus when I'm not going to have a good night's sleep. It's not perfect. Some nights I wake up and I'm like, that was pretty sweet. I don't think I woke up again. Other nights, it's like I knew this was going to happen. So you learn your body a little bit more, producer Matt. I think you're younger, but Peak, I'm a little surprised you haven't gotten there yet. With sickness, do you notice when something's coming on?
Yeah, no, I'll have a. Well, it's probably too late by then. Well, I don't know if it's too late. If you have a virus, you have a virus. It's not like. But
here's another example.
I go on like a sneezing fit, and I go,
you know.
Oh no, I'm about to be real sick here in about a day.
Another example of YYK.
Mm-hmm.
Sexually stimulated. I instantly know when I'm ready to go.
I hope so.
No game day men's health needed.
I mean, that's the funny thing about it. Actually, it's totally prompted by Game Day Men's Health. No shortcuts, just results. Testosterone, peptides, weight loss, sexual performance therapy. GameDayMen'sHealth.com, defining a new era in men's health. Well done, Peak. Well done.
Yeah,
you're a radio pro.
But the falling asleep has always been an issue for me, and I just envy people who can just lights out, like just. They put their head on the pillow and they fall asleep.
Yeah, sadly, I'm that guy now. I used to be.
Sadly, I envy you.
No, it's really not all that great, honestly.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I get excited when I feel the melatonin working. I go, oh my gosh, this is great. I'm gonna fall asleep because I've also been waking up in the middle of the night for the last 2 weeks. Can't figure that out, but just I'm awake and then I can't go back to sleep.
Yeah, it's. I miss the anxiety. I miss all the thoughts. I miss the thoughts of the thoughts. I miss the inception of the thoughts.
Yes!
You get inside a thought of a thought.
Yes!
Oh, yeah. I've been there all
try
before.
to track it back. Like, how did I even get to this? How did I get to where I'm thinking about this? And then I have to work it all the way back. Like,
my advice, just have kids where you don't know what sleep is or isn't anymore, and then you're just happy to be able to close your eyes. Honestly.
That's probably what it is.
I've really used to be the worst sleeper in the world. So hearing both you all talk about all those, like, it's the worst. And then back in high school, it'd be like, you'd look at your phone and be like, oh, no. Like, an hour has passed and I'm still not asleep. And then you'd look at it again and be like, oh, no, another hour has passed. And just like, and then the anxiety of just not falling asleep would make it less likely to fall asleep. I've been there. It is a nightmare. I got addicted to sleeping pills, Tylenol PM, back when I was in, I think, grade school. That was a nightmare. So I've gone through the old sleep rigmarole. And right now I am in the, like, if I'm just comfortable, see ya. Good night. I'll catch you when I catch you.
See, that seems great. I don't.
I feel embarrassed to my wife, honestly, and I feel bad because it's like we put the kids down, and it's like, all right, quality time. Like, let's watch our shows, and like, and our life is our kids and our life, obviously. But it's like our escape. She doesn't care about UK athletics. She doesn't care about Kentucky roll call. But we can talk about Hawkins, Indiana. Like, you know, we can talk about The Amazing Race. We can talk about Survivor. And then here she is, like 5 minutes into our little world, and I'm just out. And I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad about it. She has to understand, though, that, like, I am doing that because I'm at a total place of peace. Like, I used to be the worst sleeper, as I've
said. They say that if you're, I guess, if you're with somebody that you love, that you have a tendency to fall asleep faster.
I've tried to express that to her, that, like, the fact that I'm doing this to you, like, it shows that, like, how comfortable I am. Because I do think I don't think males, but I think just parenting or just being an adult, to a certain extent, you're just on, like, watch mode, where it's like, all right, I am the protector. Like, I'm the man of the house, and I need to be on. But now, sadly, the protector is very sleepy all of a sudden at nighttime.
But you'll get right up if somebody tries to break.
Sure. So if I hear a noise, I'm up and I'm ready to go. But I try to express to her, like, I do apologize that you're probably looking for some engagement on a show and I'm just falling asleep. However, that is because, like, I feel so comfortable around you that I can let my guard down entirely. And then the Full House music plays, and then I get laid. No,
you're now the protector.
I wake up. I wake up from my dream.
It's like whenever you realize, like, if you were to get a dog, when you first get a young dog, they always sleep like curled up. And then once they get comfortable with you, they start sleeping on their back. They're like,
They sprawl out, let it all hang out.
that guy doesn't care anymore.
Actually, the wife looks at me and like the Captain Phillips movie with the Somali pirate. She's like, I'm the protector now. You are the sleeper. I am the protector now. I'm like, I just got to roll with it. But no, I hate the sleeping issues are that Game Day Men's Health can take care of that for you, by the way. They can do sleep. I know we don't do it on the ad read, but they can take care of that stuff as well. But that is no joke. I feel bad for producer Matt and Peak. If you guys have a bad sleeping night, let's start the show with it so we can figure it all out.
All right, let's do that. The melatonin has been working.
About the last 5 nights, I've gotten like maybe 10 hours of sleep total, so starting rough.
No.
Wait, how many
Matt,
days?
No.
Like last 5 nights.
Wait, so hang on. You're saying you're getting 2 hours of sleep?
That's
2 or
what he's
3.
saying, yeah.
That's like a carcinogen.
It's not good.
It's terrible.
No, I mean like the whole vacation and the holiday stuff like really screwed me up. I can't fall asleep until like 3 a.m. now, and then the dogs wake me up at like 6 because they're asleep at like 10 p.m. Right? They get up at 6, bark, go crazy because they have to go to the bathroom, they have to eat, and then by that time I've walked around enough that I'm like, okay, well I can't go to sleep now. So I'm just up.
So what time did you go to bed last night after the game?
2:30.
And then you were up by about 6 again?
6, yeah. Because the game ended. I laid down in the dark for a good hour.
I hope it's dark.
It was dark. Lights were. I remember to turn the lights off this time. Funny story. Paulina actually sleeps with the lights on. That drives me nuts. But
Well, okay. Hold on. Like she has a nightlight?
no, like she leaves her lamp on.
Okay, lamp is like, is it a dim
No.
lamp?
Like it can,
Very
it can
quickly,
light
no.
the room up.
So you meant what you said, like she sleeps with the lights on.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. I think the light soothes her or something. I don't know. Because we'll be laying down and like we'll be watching a show, and she's like you, TJ, where she falls asleep within 3 minutes, and I can tell when she's asleep because she stops asking me questions about the show.
Oh, that's cute.
But it'll be like we're watching Stranger Things, right? I
Yes.
have not seen this season yet, and season 4 came out 4 years ago? I don't even remember what all happened. I probably should have rewatched it
Same.
again.
Yes.
But she's asking me questions that happened to like season 2. I'm like, sweetheart, I couldn't tell you what happened the last episode we just watched. And then, but going back was I was asleep, or I was laying down in the dark, realized after an hour I couldn't sleep, so I turned on a movie. And then was like, okay, if I turn on the movie just like the Family Guy stuff that I've seen a bunch of times, maybe I can just close my eyes and listen to it and fall asleep. Could not. I turned on too good of a movie and was interested.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Couldn't sleep. I eventually just tried again, laid down in the dark until about 3 a.m. And then I think I just drove. Like, I don't know if I actually fell asleep. I think I just like slept up into madness. And maybe I blacked out, and then now I'm just back again.
That's tough. That is tough. Any advice for young producer Matt, Stephen Peak?
Well, I mean, you said you're already using melatonin, right?
Yes.
Why does that not work for you?
I
all the time?
don't use it all the time because isn't there? I know that your body like makes melatonin itself.
It
so
does.
It's
Yeah.
not like taking NyQuil every night. It's something with I don't like using things to go to sleep or using supplements all the time. I don't know. It's
Do you
something
use a
with me.
stimulant to wake yourself up?
I usually get coffee in the mornings.
Okay. So that's using something every day.
That is something, but I also don't do that every day. That's like an occasion.
Okay.
Will Paulina sleep with the lights off ever? Like if the lights are off, will she not sleep?
Oh, I wake her up and have her turn them off. It's like training your dog. Like I could do it for her, but I'm like, if I make her do it, she'll learn to do
Very
it.
interesting.
So wait,
We're learning a lot about each other.
she'll remember to do it. She's. I thought she's doing it on purpose.
No, she just like falls asleep every night
Oh, okay.
with
okay.
the lights on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they have like a mask you can put on your face, your eyes also. That will help.
My wife's a mass sleeper.
Yeah.
She puts that, for me, does it make things darker where you could fall asleep easier? Yes, but you have something attached to your head now.
Yeah.
But
So,
how bright is your room that with the lights off that you need to put a mask on?
Actually, the wife would sleep in a cave if she could. Like, she would sleep just in a basement with no windows at all. I like having the windows open, even during night, where it's just like some natural light coming into a room. So we actually differ on that. So I think that's probably why she goes the mask, is she's actually being considerate of me. Switching gears, but this has to kind of do with this is what you do before bed back in the day. Stephen Peak, tally ho. Is Tolly Go gone?
What?
Yeah, it's gone. Go Tolly Go gone.
Really?
Yes. No more.
Huh?
Tolly no.
Well, when did that happen? Just now?
Yeah, and they keep showing pictures of it. Like, Tolly Ho is closing tomorrow, New Year's Eve. It's never going to be open again.
Oh, this is a place?
And all the
In Lexington, yes.
It's
best burger.
It's like a stop for pirates in Lexington. You ever gone, producer Matt?
No.
Well, you're not a pirate.
I'm not.
So it kind of checks out. But no, it was like the late night college, open 24 hours, greasy spoon, drunken spoon.
It's like a cookout.
It's like a cookout, yeah. But it was locally owned.
It's actually right by Cookout.
In Lexington, it was like, oh, everything's closed. Let's go to Tolly Ho. That's what they did. Long before I was at UK in Lexington, its heyday was before I was there. And then after actually when I was there is when they moved locations. And then were they at that spot? Is that where they're closing? Or had they moved since then?
No, I think yeah, that's
okay, so it's the
closed.
background that looks so different. So many things have popped up. Because I went to their new location. I think they went to their new location when I was in school in 2012 or 2013. And I went to it. Wasn't overly impressed. I wasn't impressed with the old location, the OG location. And for what it's worth, was that even the OG location? The one that was right there, like huge ass and
I'm not
Pazos
sure.
and stuff like that?
Because
I think that was the OG
yeah,
location.
I didn't go to school there, so
Did you ever go to it at all?
Yeah, I did. But
Okay.
I've only gone to it since it's moved to that location on South Broadway.
So I'm at least, I guess, fortunate enough to say that I went to the OG Tolly Ho way back in the day. But my memories of that place were very dark, both from the lighting in the establishment and the lighting in my brain.
Ooh.
So don't remember it all that well for twofolds. But do remember the newer location all that well. Yeah, I guess when I started this topic, I was like, I didn't realize that now I was the only UK grad Lexingtonian for a bit that lived there. I always thought Tolly Ho was incredibly overrated. When friends would suggest Tolly Ho late at night, I was like, dude, it is not 1985 anymore. Let's get McDonald's.
Options.
Let's get Sonic. I never went low enough to go to Sir Pizza. Just truth be told. That was even bottom of the barrel, well below the rings of hell of Tolly Ho. However, Tolly Ho wouldn't be my first stop. But every time I did go to Tolly Ho, which was many times, I was always so impressed by the community that they had. It wasn't my spot, but it was the spot for so many other UK students where it was just late night, can't go back to the dorms, can't go back to this spot or whatever it was. Let's keep the party rolling. And a lot of times it was just good old clean fashion fun partying. We aren't drinking, we ain't boozing, but they're open late. Let's go get a milkshake. Let's go get a burger. We've been studying. Let's go do something fun. It was a place of innocence for some groups where this was the fun college late night spot. It was a group after the bars that you were hammered drunk, you'd go there. Not so innocent, but still shenanigans all the same. It meant so much to so many people. And just because it wasn't our group spot, our late night spot of hanging out, it was for tens of thousands of UK students. And it makes me legitimately sad that it actually is closing for good.
What year did it open?
That's a great question. I want to say probably in the 80s would be my guess, but I'm just spitballing. But I think that was
opened in 1971.
Or 71, so I was a decade off. And I want to say they moved in 12 or 13 to the new location, maybe 11.
It originally opened on Winslow Street in 1971.
Wow, where's Winslow?
That's a good question. I was hoping you might know.
Sounds familiar. I think once I punched it in the map. Okay, yeah. Winslow's right by. It's. I think it's opened where it says it was.
There was only one late night place at Murray for food. Our Tolly Ho was called Mary's Kitchen, and they also closed not that long ago.
Yeah, the Winslow I think is what is its OG location. I think it's right next to Winslow is just a side street between Upper and Limestone between Raising Cane. So I think that's where it opened. It's OG. What was the name of the Murray State?
It's called Mary's Kitchen. Actually,
Mary's Kitchen?
My good friend John Black. It's his mom. It was his mom's place, and he was like the main cook there. And then when he moved here to Louisville, they shut it down.
Oh,
Yeah, but they had this called the Dinero Habanero, named after Dinero Thomas, who had the game-winning shot in the NCAA tournament versus Vanderbilt in 2010. And it's the hottest chicken sandwich I've ever had, but it's so good. Like I told him when they were doing the chicken sandwich wars, it's like it's too bad that Mary's Kitchen isn't around to participate in this, because that's the best one in Kentucky. Yeah, he made this like this sauce, this like hot sauce with like pineapples and stuff. It was so good, and I might have to have him make it for us. Maybe we can try it out here, because we did a segment in Murray when we did a TV show there, and had us all try it. But it's really good. It's hot, but it's good. I would like to see you guys try it.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I would have enjoyed it. All right, so original Tally Ho 71-85 on the Winslow Street location. Moved very close by, second location in 85, and then moved from that, which was right there. The location that you probably think of Tally Ho was its second location from 85 to 2011. In 2011, the restaurant moved to South Broadway and Boulevard Street. Okay, so they did move in 2024.
Yeah, I just saw that on here too.
2024, they moved. Okay, I was gonna say. All the pictures that I see, I'm like, that does not look like it's Broadway location. In 2024, it moved to Foreman Avenue and South Broadway. So it probably was a long cry from the Tally Ho that we remember it in the 2000s or 2010 or the 90s or maybe even the 80s, depending on who you are and when you were in Lexington or when you were listening. All the points remain the same. I'm sad to see a Lexington institution close.
Yeah, they've been around for half of Kentucky's national titles.
So 48, 49, 51, and 58. They missed those.
And they've been there for,
Tally Ho has existed for all the other ones.
Hopefully they're going to miss a lot more. We'll see.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. But RIP to Tally Ho. You didn't make it through 2025. But for your listening entertainment, we're going to recap the year for you. Some underrated stories of the year. In classic Kentucky roll call fashion, I gave the fellas an incredibly broad brush to paint this topic with. I don't know if they're going sports. I don't know if they're going world. I don't know if they're going politics. But underrated stories you may have missed in 2025. Maybe it's all UK related. Who knows? You're going to find out when you return here on Kentucky Roll Call, Big X Sports Radio. Stephen Peak, producer Matt Childers, TJ Walker, back after this.
I'm getting older. I think
Back Kentucky roll call. Who do we have here? Who's this singing?
Billie Eilish. I'm getting older.
I was going to say, it sounds familiar. Billie Eilish. Okay, cool. This is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. We're going to go take a trip down memory lane here in this segment and touch on some of the things that maybe you forgot in 2025. But first, let's touch on the Game Day Men's Health text line, which is 502-414-1450. Game Day Men's Health, I already mentioned it, the redefining men's wellness. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com to make sure that your 2026 is up to snuff. You deserve it. It's your body. You only get one of them. Take care of it at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. A texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line says, no free ads, but I bought some seltzers from a local THC company, and they shipped me a free bottle of sleep gummies with the purchase. I also struggle with sleep, so I figured I'd give them a try, and they've been unbelievable. They got me hooked by sending me that freebie. That's what drug dealers do. That's from our buddy
They get you
Ryan.
really good bats the first time, so you keep coming back.
That's Ryan from Freedom Hall. I added in the part about the drug dealers, but yes, I would recommend both of you all. Those sleep gummies do help. One company used to be a sponsor on the show. They're no longer a sponsor on the show, but my dad, not that company, he has used a different company. Maybe they'll be a sponsor on the show someday, and he has basically kept that company in business. They have little like shot things, a little drink that you take before bed, and he swears by these things. I mean, he absolutely loves them. Ryan, I think I know the company that you're referencing, and good, yeah, but that anything that works, right? As long as you feel good. I actually have not been, I talk about how I fall asleep just if I'm on the couch and I'm comfortable and it's late and I'm ready to go, but I don't feel like I sleep all that well. I wake up many times during the night. I wake up early. I do think that, like, I'm probably going to die in my 60s, and the reason will be is because bad sleep in my 30s. But I do fall asleep very easily. I don't necessarily stay asleep very easily, but I do fall asleep. Sleep is incredibly important.
Well, if you're dying in your 60s due to sleep, Steven and I are going out in our 40s.
I don't mean in my sleep, but because of lack of sleep. Yeah, you all are going to be all right. It'll work itself out. You'll be okay. I did sleep pretty well in my 20s, but usually it was booze infused for the most part. Another texter says, at my age, falling asleep is relatively easy, but not necessarily at the best time. Plus, there's the deal of waking up every 2 hours to go pee. I admittedly, if I have a night's sleep where I don't have to wake up to go number one, or number two, but if you were constantly waking up to take number twos in the middle of the night, that would be a pretty major issue. But if I have a night where I wake up and I'm like, oh no, I didn't have to go potty last night. That's a pretty big deal for me, and I think that's pretty embarrassing, and I hate that about myself. It's not like I'm boozing either. It's not like I'm having 16 beers before bed. But I will at least once, and sometimes twice. But yes, I will always have to get up at least one time. I'm super self-conscious about that. My brother, huge bedwetter, just wets the bed like it's going out of style. Like I'd like
now?
to think that he's listening to this. Oh, yeah, now.
Okay.
I'd like to think that he's listening to this, was just like going about his day. We weren't talking about him at all. He's just like, what the hell? Like, dude, shut up, DJ. Shut the hell up. No, but if he drinks, he's probably going to wet the bed. I think he's 39 or is he
You'd much rather wake
40 or
up.
something like that. However, I think in the back of my mind, it's just like, I don't want that to happen. So, like, the slightest thought of having to go tinkle, I'll get up and go.
Do you guys have the issue of, maybe it's that, but subconsciously for me, even if I go to the bathroom, if I lay in bed and don't fall asleep for like 20 minutes, I will, like, if there is even a drop of pee in my, like, I have to go. I
Same
can't
way.
sleep. I'll be up all night.
Yes.
I can't sleep.
I will not be able, and actually it's terrible for your urethra. Is that what it's called? The little,
Yeah.
we don't have to get into
I think
the
you're right.
sexual anatomy. It's really bad to like just force urination when you don't actually have to go. So I've tried, one thing I've done, Matt, is like tried to trick myself. However, though, you can't fall asleep. Like, it makes it much tougher if you feel like even if it's just 3% needs to be let out. 7%. Like, I know I don't really need to go, but I feel like I need to go a little bit. Yeah, I used to be like that, and I just try to train myself to, like, deal with it. And then sometimes you just fall asleep and you're like, oh, you're happy you did it. Other times you can't. So it does make it tough. But yes, I'm in that ballpark, Matt.
It's the old school saying, too tired to go pee, too much pee to go to sleep.
They've said that for decades. I mean, maybe even centuries. Another texter who hasn't texted in since June, that's how you know that the sleep topic has them going, says, I had to stop doom scrolling when I can't sleep. It was an embarrassing story at work when it fell on my face and gave me a black eye.
That's okay. All right. I've done that. It didn't give me a black eye, but I have fallen asleep with the phone looking up like this and then fell asleep and it landed on my face. That happens.
That has happened to you?
Oh, that happens. That has happened to me this week, I think. That's not a rare occurrence.
I've dropped it on somebody else's face before.
Wait, how?
All right, you can just say Paulina.
It was Paulina. We were laying down together, and she was laying on my arm, and I fell asleep and dropped the phone on her face in the middle of the night.
That's pretty good. Usually, I always feel embarrassed when that happens, and it's just loud, and it wakes Jacqueline up. Or if I'm sharing a hotel with Jack or Nick and Adam, one of our road trips, and then I have my phone and I'm off the edge of the bed watching stuff to try to fall asleep.
So your wife's name is Jacqueline.
Yes.
And you stay a lot with Jack.
Yeah, it gets really
Does that
confusing.
get weird at all?
Yeah.
You ever call Jacqueline Jack?
Yeah, all the time.
I was going to say, it
yeah.
seems, this is super embarrassing, but I called my wife Hannah Hanny, just because it's easier. Like,
Yeah,
Hanny,
that is embarrassing. Yeah.
It's super embarrassing. Like, grab that Hanny. Well, it'd be funny if you called your wife Jack. And then,
What about I'm calling Jackie?
It's like Paul and Paulina. Which one's the lazy one?
we've really come full circle with all of this, as a matter of fact. Yeah, but I just imagine you and Jackie, no! It's not even that funny.
I try to get used to calling
dumb.
Jackie Jack a little bit too, so that doesn't happen.
Jack! But yeah, then you end up calling.
But the doom
yelling at
scrolling
your-
before
you're
bed,
yelling
that-
at your wife about Jack Pilgrim stuff.
That can't be good. And that's why I'm trying to limit the TikTok use. I don't look at TikTok during the day. That just started during COVID, where it was just I'll do TikToks as I lie in bed at night. So now I never get on that app during the daytime. But I do think that when my algorithm is showing me back when it was really bad, it kept showing me Palestinian kids digging through the rubble for their relatives, and I was like, I don't think I need this before I go to sleep.
Good night.
Yeah.
Time for bed.
Yeah.
Sweet
So
dreams.
I was like, maybe I'll figure out other ways to fall asleep.
The easiest days to not be doom scrolling before bed is the night where your team just had an embarrassing loss, because the last thing I want to see is anything people are saying on the internet. I'm like, I'm about to get such good sleep tonight, no matter even how angry I am.
The best and the worst thing about the For You page, when Kentucky wins the game, that For You page for 24 hours, I cannot get enough of it. It's the best thing in the world. After a loss, it's a good way to get me off social media.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to see a million different depressing, sad, terrible stats or anything like that. You know how George Washington died. Of course, we were just talking about it. You know George Washington.
We were there.
Yeah, everybody remembers that. Do you actually know?
How did George Washington die?
He had a cold, and they basically killed the first president of the United States because they were just dumb. But he went out for a horse ride, doing just his, probably checking out the plantation, if we're just being truthful. But he went out on a horse ride. It was raining, and it was cold, and he was probably just shouldn't have been out there as an old man in the wet, cold rain. He came back in, was like, I don't feel good. I was out riding around in the rain. I feel sick, blah, blah, blah. Probably had pneumonia.
In sleet and snow.
Yeah, it was nasty out. They came back in. He came back in. He was super sick, and they just started bloodletting him. Do you know what bloodletting is?
I'm actually reading about it right now.
Are you reading about George Washington or bloodletting?
Well,
Both.
it's got both, which drained him of a significant amount of
Oh,
blood.
they just were bloodletting him like he was going out.
Because he had a
style.
bacterial infection in his throat, is
And
what I'm reading.
They just was more blood and more blood and more blood and more blood. And they thought that was the right thing to do. I do think we'll look back in 100 years and so you had a little LED screen 2 inches from your face, and you thought that was good for your eyeballs and your brain. I do wonder if we'll look back in time at some of the things we're doing nowadays and just be like, oh, we thought that was good to have that right by our heads when we're trying to fall
100%.
asleep. Or, we posted anything that happened to our lives to like validation for likes and stuff like that. Sometimes we look back at things they did 100 or 200 years ago and we're like, are they the dumbest people in the world? I think they'll say that about us.
Yeah, it's like my doctor used to smoke. It'll be like my therapist used to use Twitter.
Or you just, and I don't say this from a judgmental standpoint, but you just have the fattest doctor in the world, and it's like, oh no. Like, should you be the one telling me about health? Like, again, not that you don't know your stuff, but do you not practice what you preach? Do you not have the discipline to follow through with
It's like, I'm just using myself as an example so you don't get to this point. I'm going to tell you how horrible I feel.
Hey, not all the best coaches are the best athletes or players.
There you go.
Usually the best athletes are the worst coaches.
To bring it to a sports
Exactly,
standpoint. But where did we get on this to begin with?
We were talking about the top stories of 2025.
Bloodletting George Washington.
Right.
Bloodletting George Washington. By the way, from a sports standpoint, U of L firing Ron English and defensive line coach Mark Hagan.
Did it say? I didn't get to read that. Did it say they fired him, or are they just is he just leaving?
Well, Pete Thamel said changes are coming to the defensive staff, but I don't imagine Ron English was probably saying like, I don't want to be employed next year. I'm gonna go look for another job. Thank you. I've got a good house here in town. I've enjoyed things for the last couple of years, but I'm just going to go get my little stick. What are the, I don't know if you can call them hobos anymore, but what, the things that they would carry on their back, the stick and the little thing?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What was
The little satch.
Like, what's the easy way to call that? Stick and stack?
Yeah.
You're stack and sit.
Yeah, I think that works.
I don't think Ron English was voluntarily doing that, so I think he was fired. Whether or not the contract
It's called a
language.
bindle.
A bindle.
Good Google skills. I don't think Ron English took his bindle and just said, I'm going to go on I-65 and see. Or maybe 64, because the Cats have been hiring some cards. That's what we call a segue.
There you go. Yeah.
Colby Smith. He's going to come on and coach the running backs for UK. Do you even have any idea who that is, producer Matt?
I have no idea who that is.
Because he's 41 years old. And he was playing football at U of L long before you even knew before you were even probably born. I always forget what year you were born in. But he was a U of L running back, a good one at that. Kentucky fans probably don't have the best memories of Colby Smith as a running back for the Cards. But he has kind of followed the Bobby Petrino train for a good bit. And then obviously when things didn't work out for Bobby 2.0 at U of L, he's kind of had to carve his own path. But he is coming to Kentucky. Of course, he did link back up with Bobby Petrino last year, but doesn't have a ton of college experience outside of Bobby Petrino for what it's worth, but was in the NFL with the Dolphins. I have no idea what to make of it, but it does seem like who else is left to hire for Will Stein's staff? Is that everybody?
It's a good question.
I think it's pretty close to complete with the addition of Colby Smith. They hired a linebackers coach as well. And it's all coming together there.
Do they have a quarterback coach, or is it just going to be Will Stein?
I think the offensive coordinator he brought in was going to be the QB coach.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong about that. Maybe what a title was at one job versus what it's going to be at the next job can change. I don't know if Joe Sloan's going to be coaching quarterbacks. Maybe they'll bring somebody else in to do that. Not 100% sure. But the staff's coming together, and then I think after this weekend, Stephen Peak, the first week of 2026, we're going to be able to say, like, oh, there's your starting left tackle, or there's your starting wide receiver. It's going to start coming together pretty quick.
On
And I'm
Friday,
excited
hopefully.
about it. Well, maybe Friday.
That's when the portal opens.
Well, Friday you'll start getting some of the pieces, you're right. But by the end of the weekend, yeah, you're no doubt about it. 502-414-1450, the Game Day Men's Health text line. We are talking all sorts of random things. Kentucky football wide receiver Troy Stellato has entered the transfer portal. There's just no way that dude has any eligibility left. He has to be using a redshirt year this past year at UK. That was such an incredibly worthless addition to the football program. I know he got hurt, but he had injury issues all throughout his career. I would hope that either Troy Stellato because he's a gorgeous human being. I would hope that he's a recruiting piece. I don't know why a good-looking dude would be a good recruiting piece, but maybe you get the moms on board. You get the moms on board. You get their sons on board. I have no idea.
That makes sense.
I'm just trying to look at it from an optimistic standpoint, but that dude was a completely, or maybe he was great from a GPA standpoint. Maybe he was great for scout team because he's been around football long enough. He could tell you what other teams were going to do. But from a contributions on the field on Saturdays, he was worthless.
He had 1 reception for 4 yards this season.
Okay, well, that was worth something.
Yeah,
About 1 reception for 4 yards.
Wait, it was
That's
against
all
Texas.
he had. That's a joke. That's all he had.
That's all he had. It was against Texas.
It was against Texas.
Yeah.
So like, we trusted this. You have your friend group. Have they ever done like the hypothetical? Like, do you think you could rush for a yard in an NFL game?
That's a good. I do
I
like
think
that.
Troy
Yeah.
Stellato is the answer to our hypothetical questions. And you may say, TJ, you're being tough on the guy. He's just a college student. No, I mean, this dude is just a grifter that has gone from Clemson to Kentucky, collected paychecks, gotten free education, had 1 catch, and I don't blame him in the slightest. I'm jealous of him.
Did he do his first 3 years at Clemson?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when he came to Kentucky, I don't want to put any I don't want to, throw any media members under the bus or anything like that, but they acted like he was going to be like that veteran slot receiver, that he was going to be a Charles Walker. It's offensive to our boy Charles Walker.
It's true. Yeah. St. X grad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're related.
Oh, I didn't notice you have the same last name.
Yeah. Just assume 2 white kids that went to St. X have to be related in some capacity.
Yeah.
Can I give a quick update to you, TJ, real quick, on the Ron English situation?
Oh, you're worked up about the wrong.
No, it literally, I just got it sent to me by Pete Thamel.
Pete sent it to you?
No, Roman actually sent me. It's just by Pete Thamel.
Okay.
I was more right than you were. He actually is just stepping away from football for a whole year.
What about the defensive line coach?
I have no idea, but it says English. Pete Thamel tweeted, English has informed Louisville officials he'd like to step away for the year. He expressed his desire to watch his son's final football season at Navy.
Okay, he was fired. I don't know how else to tell you.
I'm just reading what Pete Thamel has said.
Sure, that's fine, and I think that they probably wanted it to look all good and be all nice. And my guess is maybe they went with him with a pay cut to go back to nil or something, and then probably English was upset about that. Braun, being a great stand-up dude, was probably I don't want to embarrass you and act like you're fired. So how can we do this where it look like you're going to get some benefits moving forward, but we don't say that you're fired? This is probably the legal jargon that they came up with.
So you're telling me
Pete Thamel was willing to play ball because he loves him some Jeff Brown.
So you're telling me Ron English is not taking the Toby from The Office Costa Rica trip?
You know what? I can't say that definitively. I do feel like Toby he felt like he was forced out. He didn't want to keep working for Michael. He just felt like he had to do something, jumped on the Costa Rica trip, had never ziplined before in his life. He knew that was a dangerous endeavor. And what does he do? He zip lines, breaks his neck instantly.
Did he make that decision when he put his hand on Pam's leg? It felt like that's what happened.
I was wondering if you're going to keep with the bit or not.
No, now I want to know what your thoughts are on that.
It was actually, he did that, had to come up with a backup plan.
Yep.
Costa Rica was the easiest thing. And was the ziplining accident intentional? We'll take it to the text line there, Game Day Men's Health text line. Who would you rather see? Ron English at UK or Mark Stoops at U of L?
Oh, I'd love to see Mark Stoops at Louisville.
You would?
Yeah. Why not?
Let's
get him in. Why not? Why not?
I wouldn't want to have motivated Mark Stoops at U of L.
No. But I think it would. We already have the rivalry livened up a little bit.
I don't want Ron English anywhere near UK either.
Well, that's the point. That I would rather, if you're giving me one or the other.
So it's just by default.
A little bit by default, but also, wouldn't it be interesting? Another former. I mean, it's like we're just switching programs here a little bit.
Could you just imagine
seem like that.
All red and black Stoops Troops T-shirt?
That makes me sick, actually. Although if I was a U of L fan and somehow that happened, I mean, we'd have instead of the crunch zone, we'd have the Stoops Troops defender area or something like that. if you're a U of L fan, you just have to lean into it entirely, knowing that it's either going to be like fun and you're going to get to embarrass your rival in the process, or it'll all go up in flames and whatever. At least you had a good time doing it. Robert texted in. Where is Mark Stoops going to go, though? This isn't what Robert said. This is just me. Sorry, Robert.
What a text.
What is Stoops going to do?
I thought he was just taking a little break from football, like his buddy Ron.
Yeah, he's going to go watch his son play at Albuquerque College or whatever.
What do you think that Mark Stoops gets another coaching job?
Yes.
Head coaching job?
Yes.
No.
No.
So defensive coordinator?
He could take one if he wanted.
Yeah,
he could take a head coaching
MAC job or something.
or an AAC or something like that. But I guess the better question, what you meant to ask Stephen Peak, what you were really trying to, what will his next job be? And I think it'll be a defensive coordinator job at a championship contending program. What do you think, Matt?
I don't know about a championship contending program, but I think if we're talking SEC, I could see like a middle tier program and then be a defensive coordinator. I don't know if somebody out there like Lane Kiffin at LSU, like that kind of caliber, Alabama would go out and reach out to Mark Stoops. But I agree with you that it'll definitely be a defensive coordinator position.
I would not be shocked if he just never coached again. Honestly, I wouldn't be that shocked because there was already some talk of he's going to retire early because of his dad, all that stuff, and I don't know.
He just leaves a note to Vince Marrow under a rock that just says, "Meet him at the beaches of Mexico."
Yeah.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up, but Mark Stoops, breaking news, he has committed to the Rio de Janeiro Carnival celebrations this year. That's he's going to be getting his party on, is what he is committing to moving forward.
Is that real?
He's going to be getting his carny on.
Where'd you see this at?
He's going to be at the street parties of colossal scale down in Rio de Janeiro.
Is that
you imagine Mark Stoops with a big old cigar, a little thing of bourbon?
Yeah, he's not coaching football anymore.
Just watching a couple Brazilians doing some dances.
Actually,
Turn it up.
I can totally see that.
Turn it up because we need to go to a break. All right, hour 2 coming up next. Welcome back. Hour number 2, Kentucky Roll Call here on Big X Sports Radio. And New Year's is tomorrow, and then, well, I guess New Year's Eve is tomorrow, and then New Year's the day after. Go ahead and get you some salsaritas today, so you have wildly addictive chips the next several days, catering, or lunch, or dinner, all at the touch of your fingertips on their Salsaritas app. Download that app today. Salsaritas, wildly addictive chips. 3 locations in the Louisville area, Middletown, St. Matthews, and Bullitt County, right off I-65. Download the app. All right, fun first hour. Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, producer Matt Childress here on Kentucky Roll Call. Get your text into the Game Day Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. 2 days left in 2025 some year. I remember in October being like, how do we only have 3 months left in the year? Where has the year gone? I remember saying that in July, saying, where has the year gone? We only have 2 days left. Where has the year gone? And in the year, it's easy to forget a lot of things that happen. And there has been a lot that has happened in 2025, Stephen Peak and Matt Childress. Mm-hmm. I gave you all very little parameters, none.
That's not surprising at all.
And then I think it makes it more fun that way. Of 4 underrated stories. And ideally, it was going to kind of be quarterly, like maybe you'd have one from the winter, one from the spring.
I tried.
But if it didn't work out that way, it wasn't the end of the world. I said it was bonus points. So I'm going to throw it over to producer Matt Childress. Can we get some background music, by the way? Maybe I'll throw it over to co-host Stephen Peak. Can we get some background music?
Yeah. Are we just doing like one at a time?
Maybe like Old Sang Lean background music, or just I'm curious what you all came up with. And I've come up with a couple things myself.
Do you want to do like a one and then go around? Like each person do one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea. All right. What's one that you wrote about?
Well, we'll start in January. I don't like to talk about it because of the suffering. TikTok goes offline.
Oh. You suffered?
It was a dark night for us at the Peak household.
It was like 36 hours?
Yeah, it was rough, man. I don't like to talk about it.
You all are a big TikTok family?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like it was my nightly routine. It's how I got my news.
Our neighbor, they don't do TikTok, but we like to send each other videos. Yeah. They are Instagram Reel and Facebook Reel. So this isn't I'll just tell you this. So I was looking for more like reflective, sad, like graduation music. This sounds like you're at Dave and Buster's.
I literally just looked up background silly music 10 hours. You didn't really give me any parameters or any time to figure this out.
If on a been,
we're going to listen to that the whole segment?
You're just doing carnival music.
I thought it was going to be fun stories. You want a calm, solemn, reflective song in the background?
Yeah, like
meditation music.
So Steven can talk about how sad he is that TikTok got shut down for 2 weeks?
Yeah, 36 hours actually.
I mean, Peak was tearing up, and then all of a sudden,
exactly. I'm bringing the vibes up. It's staying on.
Playing a game of Mario or something?
It's just tied 1 hour of funny music.
All right, this is what we're rolling with. Go ahead.
TikTok went offline. It was. I actually need to look up how long it was out for. You said 36 hours.
You got to turn down a little bit though.
I remember that it was going to be out indefinitely, right?
Forever, yeah. And sorry, you're gone, TikTok.
And then it came back. Thank goodness. Now I can get my news.
Your free speech has to line up with our free speech.
That's right.
So it's not free speech at all.
That is right. How did you guys handle the great TikTok blackout of 2025?
So when was it again? When was
January?
So it was about a full year ago.
Yeah.
I remember that, and one of the things that I was right about, that like this was going to be a nothing burger. They're going to figure it out. You're not just going to ban TikTok.
It was 14 hours.
But it was only 14 hours. I did think it was longer than that. I did think it was longer. Hours. But I remember everybody's goodbye. You remember the goodbye message? I was like, this platform has granted me. And it was like just, 24 hours later, they'd be like, all right, so we're back. More thirst trap videos and silly, dumb things like that.
But there were people who, like, that was their job by that point. That's how they they monetize their
Still
content.
today. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. So basically, when they shut it down, they were like, "Well, you're just done making money."
Yep. Yeah. I do remember that. That's exactly what I'm looking for in what this topic was, because I'd forgotten about that. But yes, the TikTok ban of 2025, January. But you survived it, producer Matt.
I did. I survived it.
You
I'm
big
a
TikToker?
survivor, a believer. Yes, I am. Big TikToker.
All right. For me, one thing that I feel like we had forgotten about that I had written down, if I can find my list, was
I can't wait.
The suspense is killing me right now.
okay. Well, I actually do feel bad that I don't have this in the quarterly fashion of which I wanted. No, we can still make it work. Remember when Katy Perry went to space?
Yes.
Yes.
This was April, so not technically the first quarter. Actually, yeah, first quarter. Nope, not the first quarter.
It's 4th month.
Math, yeah, third. Would have counted.
First trimester.
Katy Perry went to space, and the all-female Blue Origin New Shepard space flight, which reached like the line, like you just had to go over that line, and then you were in space. But do you remember when the all-female space crew went to space?
I cried.
She got back to Earth and she kissed the ground.
It was a historic moment.
And they were in space. Technically, they were in outer space for 14 minutes. Do you remember that, producer Matt?
Unfortunately, I do.
When Katy Perry went to space. It was obviously, how much do you think Katy Perry got paid to do that? That's a good question.
It was such a brave mission. I'm so proud of her. And she's so brave. And, yeah, she should have got paid. I mean, millions?
I imagine they're not paying her nothing to be like, hey, we're promoting our tourism business.
Right, yeah.
And there's no public record on how much she was paid.
So, quick question. So are all of your stories?
The seats sell for tens of millions of dollars. So to go to outer space, you got to pay tens of millions of dollars. They let her go for free. I bet she probably got paid about $10 million. Sorry.
Are all of your stories like major pop culture events?
No.
Not all of mine.
Okay,
No.
good, because none of mine are.
Good. That's what I was looking for.
I would guarantee maybe one of these you've actually heard of.
All right, wait, one of us. Well, then they couldn't be that big of stories if we hadn't heard of them.
You're also Gail King and Lauren Sanchez also went to space.
Apologies to Gail King, and
Yeah.
I don't know who Lauren Sanchez is.
Do you know who Lauren Sanchez is?
No idea.
She's an American
I
journalist.
feel like Lauren Sanchez.
Did she go to
probably,
space?
Probably good looking.
She also went to space. Yep.
She is good looking. Oh, she's good looking. Oh, Jeff Bezos' his wife, ex-wife.
Oh,
No, current wife.
oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They got married in 2025.
That's not the one taking like half his wealth. That's a different one.
No, that was the old. That was the old ball and chain. The new one, Lauren Sanchez Bezos is the new wife. She may have not been Lauren Bezos when she went up at outer space, though. That may have been the old Lauren Sanchez. All right, what do you have, producer Matt?
Because you said we're going quarterly, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Close
so this
one.
one's actually January 15th of 2025.
Perfect.
A Maryland woman tried to renew her driver's license but was turned away because she had been declared dead.
What?
By accident. And it wasn't her fault. And she said that she didn't even notice it was going on until all these medical bills started appearing at her house, and she lost all of her family insurance and everything because the government had declared her dead, so she didn't get any benefits or anything. Her Social Security started shutting
allowed
down.
to vote still?
Well, now she's declared alive. She is alive.
Oh, good,
now.
good.
Turns out she actually died.
Apparently, they were it came
Government
down.
was right.
Social Security.
Hey, they're not good. They're not wrong. They're just early.
She just didn't know it.
Yeah.
It said that Social
I'm sure
Security
they'll be right
was
eventually.
They sent it says they sent a statement saying its records are highly accurate. More than 3 million deaths reports a year they each receive, whatever, and this many people are. They said meaning about 10,000 reports per year. 10,000 people are claimed dead that actually aren't dead per year.
Whoa.
And this woman is one of them, and it's because somebody was punching the numbers in. Every person has their Social Security number. They were punching the numbers in and were one digit off and declared this woman randomly dead.
Wow, that is.
And she had to go through like months of trials and tribulations just to prove that she is alive.
But why does it have to be so hard when they make a mistake? Why is it that this woman had to go through so much stuff when they screwed up and it was an obvious mistake? Because I think her calling and complaining is proof that she's alive.
That would do it.
I mean, can you not just here's...
I'm a girl.
By the way, this woman's name is...
really made my life more complicated. My afterlife.
This woman's name is Paulino.
Oh!
Is that why it hit close to home?
I actually did not. I didn't notice it until just now. I was just skimming the article that I looked up earlier.
But I remember Doge, they uncovered a bunch of people that were getting payments that had died in the 1800s and stuff like that. But this person was alive. They were actually with it.
She was alive. It says the impact is the worst impact you can have on your credit report is what they said, because they didn't receive any credit because they were dead.
Credit Schmreddit. What do you have for your second story, Stephen Peak?
July 2025, the Coldplay Kiss Cam captures the... Did you have that one?
I had that on the list, yes.
I can do a different one if you want to talk about that.
No. You're good. You're good.
It was the CEO of what company and then the HR representative of that company.
It was the biggest thing for that company, for what it was.
It's a big day for Coldplay also.
Huge. I went to the next concert.
You did? Yeah. I remember I was in here to talk about that.
Yeah, that was the Coldplay Kiss Cam was hilarious. People talked about that for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Lots of memes.
It was a Coldplay concert in Boston in July 16th, as a matter of fact. A Kiss Cam segment, which was... I think people always think of a Kiss Cam segment. This one was much more intimate because they were going to be serenaded. Like Coldplay, when they did this segment, it wasn't just hey, we'll show you on camera for 5 seconds, kiss, and we'll go to the next couple. It was, we'll put you on camera, and I'm going to sing you a quick little 30-second song. I'm going to serenade you, and then I'll move to the next couple. So they showed the CEO, the then CEO of Astronomer, and the CPO of Astronomer, who were in a romantic embrace, seemingly about to kiss, only for both to realize instantly that their affair or relationship or situationship, whatever you want to call it, was now made public, and their families would be alerted of their discretion. Did you see that the CPO, and they're just coming up with titles now, with this? Did you see the CPO recently did a photo shoot?
No.
You did not see that. What was it with? Was it with the New York Times or some major publication, Rolling Stones or something? She did a photo shoot in the scenario where many people were wondering, this person cheated on her family and she gets a photo shoot because of it? What does Stephen Peak think?
2025, it's a weird time. Yeah, I mean...
Do you think she deserves a photo shoot?
I do think that so she got this directly from...
They weren't going to the Astronomer CPO and saying, you know what, you look like a middle-aged woman.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. It's not usually the talent pool, I guess, that they usually go after.
You look matronly.
I do. That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
I agree. It's totally weird. But I think the thing is, I don't know.
Man, people
I feel like people probably wanted her story, so it was how can we get her story? What if we gave you a glamorous photo shoot where you wore ginormous sweaters that were too big and you just look sad in most of your pictures?
That is weird, but man, if there's ever an opportunity to monetize something that
I will say that
they do it.
That's probably what she's thinking. Producer Matt, your memories of the Coldplay CPO.
My favorite memory is that Scoots live on air read out a fake statement.
Oh, so good. What was that fake statement?
He was basically blaming Coldplay for what happened. That was his leisure time or something like that.
What was the name of the company? I've already said it a million times today. Astronomer. Yeah. I got to pull up the fake statement. I'm trying to get it up. All right. I can't get the actual full statement, but I can get the summary of the full statement.
Obsessed with the Coldplay Kiss Cam story? I was too, until I realized the sinister truth at the heart of it. The Guardian.
Oh, okay. So they like realized that it was.
I don't get it. I
think I found the full thing.
You found the whole thing?
In a Google Images.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you read it?
Statement from CEO Andy Byron on New York, July 17, 2025. I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it's caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake. This sounds like a TJ Walker AI text.
It probably was AI.
Deeply personal mistake playing out on a very public stage. I want to sincerely apologize to my wife.
Very public stage.
I want to sincerely.
You embraced your HR rep. I know it's all fake. It's all fake. He didn't actually write this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, and the team at Astronomer. You deserve better from me as a partner, as a father, and as a leader. This is not who I want to be or how I want to represent the company I helped build. I'm taking the time to reflect, to take accountability, and to figure out the next steps. Personally and professionally, I ask for privacy as I navigate that process.
Hold on. And they end it, like their dead giveaway was the ending, which is about ready to come up.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away. But this was how you knew it was like, all right, this was just parody.
I also want to express how troubling it is that that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. As a friend once said, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you, Andy.
The lights will guide you home, quoting Coldplay.
That's right.
At a moment, people thought that was a legitimate press release because nobody knew anything about this couple. They didn't know anything about the company. They thought the company could be fake. I remember people were saying, is this all just a plant? Is this all fake? But I think the way that Chris Martin of Coldplay handled it and their just genuine reaction, even actors, I don't think could handle it as well as they did. And then that release gets out there, and it was like, wait, is this real? And then you read the last sentence, and lights will guide you home, and it was like, oh, okay. All right, for me, I've got Rory McIlroy winning his career Grand Slam. That was absolutely huge story in Augusta back in April 13th, I believe. But Rory, he was overwhelmed with emotion as he won his 2025 Masters Championship versus Justin Rose, and he was the sixth golfer in the history of the sport to win a Grand Slam, meaning he has won all the majors. The Masters was the last one for Rory McIlroy, but I will remember that finish at Augusta in April, emotional. And for a brief moment, you're like, Rory's back to being the good guy. But then you remember that he's just a total whiny you-know-what. He represents Europe in the Ryder Cup. Mm-hmm. He's a total whiny you-know-what there. And you think back and you say, you know what, Rory, I wish you didn't get your Grand Slam, because that's how I feel about it looking back at 2025. Rory is just a whiny baby, and I'm not a fan.
You're not a big fan?
Not a fan of Rory McIlroy.
But you appreciated that moment.
That was a memorable moment of 2025. When you get the sixth golfer in the sport to win their Grand Slam, that's worth bringing up at the end of year.
Were you pulling for him in that moment? No, not at all.
No, he kind of lost me with the way he handled Liv and then rehandled Liv and backtracked on it all. He's just, like, if it's not Rory's way, he just cries about it. So I'm out on him.
Matt, any hot takes on Rory McIlroy?
I always grew up a big Rory McIlroy fan.
There you go.
But
that's why you didn't want to say anything.
I will say in the past 2 or 3 years, I am leaning more towards like how I feel like TJ feels, because the dude really, I just can't even listen to him in the news anymore. I still think he's still one of the greatest golfers to ever live. Yeah. So as a past fan of Rory McIlroy, I was happy to see him finally complete it. I just personally wish he did it in a better way. But
same, and just like the stuff with his affair and how it was all handled. Not that that's any business of mine, or that he should care about my opinion on any of it.
I didn't realize he had an affair.
Oh yeah, he separated from his wife, and then there were rumors. The rumors were that like a divorce was going to be just wildly expensive. Then all of a sudden he was back with his wife. Then he wins the Masters, and yeah, it's worth looking up. But I'm not a huge Rory guy, but who cares? He did some good things in the sports world in 2025. All right, Matt, what do you got?
All right, so this is the one I have that I think you guys actually remember from happening. This is not a crazy story. I mean, it is, but Republican congressman suggests some children receiving free school lunches should work at McDonald's instead.
Mm.
Have you guys heard the story before?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rich McCormick of Georgia released a statement, was interviewed. He said, before I was even 13 years old, I was picking berries in the field before child labor laws that precluded that. I was a paper boy, and when I was in high school, I worked my entire way through, McCormick said. You're telling me that kids who stay home instead of going to work at Burger King, McDonald's during the summer should stay home and get their free lunch instead of going to work? I think we need to have a top-down review.
Oh, yeah. Have they done the top-down review yet?
I think they immediately heard this and were like, sir, we're not letting you do any top-down review of children.
A little out of touch, it feels like.
Why can't kids just eat? Why? Why not? We're feeding. Okay, this is gonna be my one take for this.
I did forget about this.
We are feeding inmates, true criminals, 3 meals a day for free whenever they want. When they get out, they still don't have to pay for it. It's all free. But we can't let kids in our education system eat for free. We got to press their parents to pay a fee once a month so they can afford to eat. And if for some reason they don't have enough money, they got to eat cheese sandwiches.
Not to bring it all close to home, but this is why this segment was so good, is like I feel I'm not defending such a dumb comment, but I will defend a dumb comment just briefly. I think what he's referencing is, I don't want the stuff that's happening in Minneapolis and Minnesota to be happening where I'm at.
Oh, you think that's where he was going with
I
that?
think that's what he was going for. Is that like I think he's
worried about there being fraud in the government.
It was a work ethic issue more than it was a child labor. Like these 12-year-olds, they're just on TikTok. That being said, it was the dumbest thing that he could say.
He literally said they should get jobs.
Yeah, I think it was more of a work ethic thing than like a government handout sort of deal. But I think his heart was in like the Minnesota. Of course, he didn't know that this. He anticipated. I think he was worried that people. I think it was a gravy train issue, but it was a dumb thing to say. He just doesn't want families on the gravy train.
I just always
get your 13-year-old at McDonald's.
I just always find it funny that like people on both sides choose what they decide is government waste. And when it's like kids eating, they're like, we can't have it. It's going to be a slush fund. Like, all right, well,
I'm universal. Cut it all, baby.
Hey, I would be okay with that as far as like being consistent.
Yeah.
Than to go back and forth on. No, well, as long as it's my kickback, then it's fine. But if it's anybody else's, and kids might might not go hungry, we'd hate that.
His point was just personal responsibility versus government dependency, I think was his point. But he expressed
don't be dependent on me. So I don't do my job well enough.
Exactly. What you're saying is his point was if we allow kids to eat, they're going to be lazy.
No,
as they are.
I'm not making his points for him, but he would obviously say no to that. But he did not word it well. The McDonald's quote, I had forgotten about that. When did that come out again?
That was also January. I don't have it every quarter.
I was going to say that seemed old. Then that's okay.
January 28th.
I was going to say that seemed old, and I had forgotten about it. But this is why we're doing this. All right, Peak, what do you got for us next?
All right. Okay, I had two of these here. One, the National League won the first ever swing off in 2025.
Well, who could forget that? I mean,
Can't forget
historic moment in 2025.
Big historic moment. The other historic moment in the same off season.
I will say the home run derby just kind of changed it. People have home run derby takes. I'm always surprised in the summer where people are like, I like the old way. I like the new way. This was fun. People do have home run derby takes.
I have a lot of home run derby takes. But then Jack Pilgrim nearly wrecked my car with Jeff Goodman and Rob Douster in the backseat.
That's a good one.
Yep. That was a little personal. I know many people remember it. But, I had him driving my car. We were doing a podcast. They had Jeff Goodman in my car for the first time, hopefully only time. And to the car.
Jeff Goodman blocked me on Twitter inexplicably. I've never had tweeted him anything negative. I've certainly have made fun of him a million times, but I don't think I've tagged him in the tweets in which I've made fun of him.
That is weird. How did
I welcome him
to?
I was at a bachelor party in Vegas about how long has this been now? Yeah, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm with like 17 of my friends. We're having fun, and then all of a sudden, not my friend, not part of our party, is Jeff Goodman, who is 15 years older than any of us, which at that point we're in our late 20s. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's Jeff Goodman in his mid 40s or late 40s, if I'm being generous, probably. And he is not wearing a shirt, and he comes over to our pool cabana, and he says, hey, you all mind if I crash here? And we're like, Jeff Goodman, what are you doing here? I just need to charge my phone. Who are you here with? I'm meeting some people here. They're not here yet, but I need to charge my phone so I can see them, so I can find them. Jeff, why are you at a pool party in Vegas shirtless by yourself and you don't know where any of your friends are and you're coming up to a random party? Well, what is up here, Jeff Goodman?
Did he'd recognize you, right?
And then I think he blocked me.
That he blocked you right then?
No, 5 years later.
Okay.
Yeah,
He was just like woke up in a hot sweat and like at 2 a.m. one night talking about tunnels and stuff, and he was like, TJ Walker.
He's like, oh my God, it all clicks. I remember that guy. If I don't block him, he's going to tell this Vegas story that I have. He was innocent. He didn't do anything wrong besides just existing.
Yeah.
Just being there. Like, why are you here, Jeff? Don't you have like a 7th grade daughter at this point?
You have no idea why he blocked you?
No, but I've been tough on Jeff Goodman because he's just a dingus. But I think he associated. I have never said anything. I've never tagged him and like specifically. I would never do that to anybody. Like specifically been mean or nasty. However, I think I have probably poked some fun at some of his not so smart commentary from time to time.
Yeah, but he's got to be used to that, right? He's not just blocking people because they disagree with his bad takes.
I think he did, unfortunately. I didn't do anything over the top. But he was in your car. People forget. Or Jack's car.
He was in my car.
Your car.
Jack was driving my car so I could shoot video.
That's
Jack
right. That's
almost
what it
hits a car in a parking lot.
That's what it was, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could have been a viral moment.
A great moment in the 2025 history. I'm just going to go with the 6'7" meme.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
There will be a day, boys and girls, that the 6'7" meme is not a thing. Or will there? Or will there?
Eventually.
Is 6'7" here to stay in the same form that 6'9" is here to stay?
I think those are different implications.
Yeah, like the.
All right, explain that to me, producer Matt.
I mean, 6'9", we all know it. It's actually referencing something.
What is it?
referencing?
What's the reference?
Oh, the
1969, we went to the moon.
The nonverbal connection between two humans. When mommy and daddy love each other a lot.
Yeah, can you draw what you mean by that?
I can. I'll bring the doll over and I'll show you where
No, Matt, what you need to say is draw a 6. Okay, and then right next to that,
draw a 7.
Draw a. He said it. 6'7". 6'7". 6'7" meme. I'm not 100% sure. I think in 5 years there will still be like when you hear the number 6'7" peak, people are gonna like. I think actually 6'7" is here to stay.
Okay, how long did 23 Skidoo stick around for?
Excuse me?
To this day,
That was
we're still 23 Skidoo.
that's what kids were saying back in the is popularized during the early 20th century.
Yeah.
You remember 23 Skidoo?
No.
Oh, they all 23 Skidoo. Yeah. No way Germany's going to try to go to war again. They learned their lesson. 23 Skidoo. You remember? That's what people were saying.
I remember people saying that.
This stock market, 23 Skidoo. It's never going to crash. We're kings, baby.
I was trying to find other sayings with numbers that people had said back in the day, to see if, like, that one, obviously, we don't say it anymore.
I was thinking in our lifetime, but I wasn't going to go all the way back to 23 Skidoo. What else do you have? What else do you have in, like, the 30s, 40s, and 50s?
Whew, that's a good question. I don't have any. So that was it. That was the only other one. 21. Did people used to say that? 21 Savage?
I thought you were going to go, like, Tebowing. You remember Tebowing?
Oh, Tebowing.
Yeah, Tebowing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There was the South Park made fun of these. Producer Matt, you can help me. Sheryl Crow. It wasn't Sheryl Crow.
Oh, you're
Faith
talking
Hill.
Faith Hilling.
Faith
Yeah.
Hilling.
Yeah.
They do the Tebowing. They do the Faith Hilling.
There was planking.
There's planking. What was the thinker? What was the thinker one where you put your? The YouTube streamers are getting a real treat. What was the streamer one? You put the hand under the jaw. The thinker. I guess maybe that's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, Tebowing was a big thing. Planking was a big thing.
Owling.
Owling.
Because by the end of the episode, they just had like 800 of them, and everybody was doing them, and it was like a pandemic.
Weren't they all just getting killed during it?
Yeah, because that was the theme was like you died by doing it. And they had a class, and like one of the kids died because they were faith healing on train tracks.
Yep.
And they wouldn't take the picture fast enough.
6-7 will go to that. However, I do fear that like every time a score is 65, you're gonna get a crowd being like, all right. You're going to get a bunch of these little kids that are going to grow up and they're going to be going to games with their significant others who they didn't grow up with but grew up in the same era and be like, hey, it's 65. Where my wife and I, if the score is ever 66 or 67, I mean, we're just going bonk. You know, we're just like, we're chomping at the bit.
Someone takes a lot of it through. You're like, no!
Well, it depends if the score's 66 or 67. But I do think it's here to stay around. I mean, this is such a dumb segment. Where are we going next? Peak? Or, no, I think we're Childress. Matt, what do you got?
So, would you guys rather have another crazy story you guys haven't heard of or something popular within sports?
Just go with the. What were you going to go with? What were you going to go with?
Okay, I'll save the sports one for later. So, this is, I think, it was in Kansas. This one's in Kansas. Authorities say a babysitter checked under the bed for monsters and found somebody.
Yeah. I remember
somebody was actually there.
Yeah.
So like this I presume it's a woman. I don't know. It could be a man, but they were babysitting the family's child out in Kansas, and the kid, they sent him to bed, and they kept coming down saying that they were afraid of the monsters under their bed. So the babysitter went up and like as a joke was like, "Look, haha, no monsters," and there was a grown man under there.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's just tough. The suspect, identified as Martin Villalobos Jr., 27, said he once lived at the residence, had been ordered to stay away from the property. Yeah, I mean, that's terrifying, especially when you have kids and they will say stuff like that. They'll be like, I'm scared, I heard something, there's a monster in my closet. And you have to do the rigmarole of like, no, everything's fine, there's nothing to be scared of, blah, 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 blah. And then one time when you actually do it and you see Martin Villalobos Jr. down there.
Gosh, that's
like,
a
Martin,
crazy
come on,
story.
Man. Come on, Martin. You can't play the boogeyman anymore.
Like that's a horror movie.
Come on.
That is, yeah.
Martin's just like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. I'm sorry. No more.
And he said, I'm
here.
afraid of the kid above my bed.
He was the victim.
What is this kid doing above my sleeping arrangement?
My house.
Yeah, I actually don't know if I ever knew the details of that, but do you remember like the old clown story, Pete? The old urban legend of like the babysitter calls the mom and is like, hey, this clown at the bottom of the steps is freaking me out. And the parents are like, what clown at the bottom of the steps?
Yeah.
And then it turns out that it was like actually a little person dressed as a clown. Like, have you heard that story? No.
It's not a true story.
I think it actually was at one point a true story. Yeah, but it's an urban legend that I remembered as a kid whose parents just couldn't wait to get away and get babysitters. We heard that one a million times over.
No, that's terrifying.
The old clown babysitter story. We need to take our last break, don't we, Producer Matt?
We do.
All right, we've got more texts into the show. We'll read those. I don't know if we've all done our 4. I've got one more. Maybe
I got one
Pete's
more.
got one
I think
more.
we all got one more.
All right, so we did the 3. So we got one more. 2025 recap. This is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio. One final segment, Kentucky Roll Call, one final Tuesday of 2025. This is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio. Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, producer Matt Childress. Get your text into the Game Day Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. You text it in, we'll read it on air. A Game Day Men's Health text line. Texter says, so did the Maryland women declare that she's still alive the same way that Michael declared that he is filing for bankruptcy? I declare bankruptcy! That episode's a pretty sad episode, but in that one brief moment, Michael Scott's very happy. He thinks that that's just it.
That's it.
I'm good.
He declared it.
If I yell it, everybody hears it.
Well, he didn't yell it.
I've atoned for my financial sins, if you will. That's a good text. Another texter says, TJ, does your wife still watch all the Oscar nominee films? We need to know Hannah's favorite of 2025. Normally she comes in with like a good old-fashioned list. Who are the nominees?
Let me find out for you.
It makes me wonder, it makes me think that she, excuse my term, but it makes me think she just like raw dogged it. Like she saw them all naturally and didn't need a list to see them. Because naturally, like.
Do you watch them all with her?
I will watch the ones that stand out to me with her.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you fall asleep?
Always. Of course. Do you have the list?
For Best Picture?
Best Picture, yes.
It is Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave.
We watched Conclave together.
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2 we watched together.
Thank God. I was waiting for you. You paused there for a little bit. Emilia Perez.
She watched that.
I'm Still Here. That's a...
Oh, my goodness. I watched Emilia Perez. That was the musical, right? That was back in, like, January. That was a long time ago. I watched Emilia Perez, and I wanted, pardon my French, but I wanted to take a long walk to the bottom of the Ohio River, if you catch my drift.
It was that good?
It was a musical.
Oh, yeah. No,
It was a Spanish musical.
I'm way out.
Yeah. So I know I know how you feel about Bad Bunny, producer Matt. I'm not trying to step on any toes. It just wasn't for me, okay?
I can't wait because we're getting so close for 2 months from now when Bad Bunny only like speaks Spanish and then you have to buy me beers.
I won't. No, I guarantee you he will speak English for what it's worth. And secondly, I have nothing against Bad Bunny. When I personally want to watch a Super Bowl show, I want to be able to understand the words. When I watch a Academy Award Best Picture, I want to be able to understand the awards. That's all.
Maybe you should just kind of learn how to read.
Well, I do. Well, shockingly, I could be better at it, but I know English reading pretty well.
The last couple are I'm Still Here. It was the first Portuguese language film nominated for Best Picture.
Okay.
Nickel Boys, The Substance, and then Wicked. Those were all the nominations.
Well, she saw Wicked, I tell you that much. Goodness gracious, I hear about Wicked. I know she saw Wicked.
Are you big
I
fan?
know she saw
Have
Wicked.
you seen Wicked?
I haven't seen Wicked.
Did you ever go watch it in theater? Wait, hang on. Theater or Have you seen the play?
We're going to have Corey Price in tomorrow. Why don't you get it right? Why don't you get it right?
I'll work on it.
Theaters. Theaters.
The only knowledge I have of Wicked is the South Park episode where they go and see Wicked.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
Very eager husbands.
Yes, very eager. My favorite scene, I'm not going to say it, but whenever they are naming or they're coming up with a name for Randy's musical, and he's like, you can't say that. We're going to change it to A Woman in White.
That's so great. I bet she has seen all of them or just about near all of them. Text her to answer your question. When do they give out that award? She'll watch them. She'll do it.
It's got to be decently soon, right?
Okay. I think it's always in like January or February, if I remember correctly. But I could be wrong about that. Another texter says, this year will be one battle, Sinners, Marty Supreme. One battle, Sinners, Marty Supreme. I guess they're saying that's who the winners will be.
What's one battle?
Oh, you've seen the.
Also, they're saying those are last year's
one
films.
battle after another is what they're talking about.
You gave us last year's films.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were asking for because they haven't come out with 2026 yet, I don't think.
Like, who's going to win 2025 Best Picture, I guess is what I'm asking.
Didn't they already do that?
Yeah, I think I think the texter's wrong. We're right.
You're confusing me.
I am very confused, but I've heard Marty Supreme is good, so I'm guessing I should get a shot at that.
Oh, okay.
The texter.
We had the wrong year of Best Picture films. You had last year's.
Oh, that was 2020. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, You're right.
So it's like who won the Super Bowl this that year.
I get
It's
what
really
you're
the
saying.
season the year before. So who are the Academy pictures going to be?
I mean, it says the 2025 Oscar nominations for the 97th Academy Awards were announced in January 2025.
Hamnet, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme.
I think one battle after another will be on there. I think.
Oh, well, we really botched that one, buddy. I'm sorry. We
so-
totally blew it.
I'm really confused, honestly.
So
have
it
to
looks
go
like
through a
it's going to
whole
be one
list of
battle
all the
after
movies.
another. Sinners, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, Frankenstein, Train Dreams, The Secret Agent, and Bognia. Weapons. I saw Weapons. Weapons was awesome. Weapons was one of the best scary movies I'd seen in a good bit. I hope Weapons wins. That's going to be my vote. Avatar, Fire and Ash. Any of you all seen that?
Great movie.
What?
The
What?
best of the three.
Do I need a week to sit down and watch it?
Yeah.
No,
for real.
it's only 3 hours.
Only 3 hours? How do you say that so nonchalant?
What Avatar are we on now?
3.
Okay. What's the full runtime of the series so far?
I think 9 hours.
Okay. I thought the first one was good. I had no desire to watch any more of them, though.
So this is just they find a new world.
No.
And these people are fire and water or
No,
something?
it's the same world.
No, but it's like you found a new island. Like these are in the Native American world, these are the ones that are specialized in fire.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Where they were more water. Or no, the people they saw in the second one was water. The first,
Yes.
they're land.
The second one was water.
So they're just doing an Earth, Wind, and Fire bit.
Kind of.
So do they finish the movie with, do you remember the first Avatar way back in 2008? Because you probably don't. It's been 20 years. Nobody remembers what the hell's going on with these alien creatures.
It is egregious that back in like 2006, 2008, we got movies like Avatar and then like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, where like the CGI in those movies was just insanely good, and Transformers too. And then now they just look like poop.
Yeah. Yeah, well, AI slop. What they call it. All right, let's finish out our moments. I'll go ahead and jump in with my last one. I don't think it's going to be a surprise for really anybody. But I've done the 6'7" meme and Katy Perry, but this is a pretty big one. Mark Stoops being fired.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that happening.
He had been UK's head coach since 2012 is the year that he was hired. And then first season, obviously, 2013. He's the winningest all-time coach at UK. At one point had a winning record at UK. Was also married when he came to Lexington, but not that matters. And raised kids there. Was there for a really, really long time. 2 10-win seasons. UK fired him because for the second straight year, he was hot dog water, as the kids say. A 4-8 year followed up by a 5-7 year, getting blown out by your rival both years in a row. That was enough to say, get out of town, Mark Stoops. So that was a very newsworthy story from 2025.
It sure was. I remember it fondly. Probably won't forget it, TJ.
I don't think you will. You covered it.
I did. And the hiring of the new coach.
Will Stein, which is that your...
It is not. Do you want to know mine?
Yes, Sissy Cakes.
Both of these happened in October. The Louvre heist happened.
I had that on my radar.
I thought you were going to say On 3 getting the Trenton Flowers stuff wrong.
That didn't happen in October. But what did happen in October, maybe the bigger story, Stephen Peake joins Kentucky Roll Call.
There you go. That's the biggest.
Yes. That's it.
Oh, that's the same. That was the week before is when Nick Roush joined the Mike Rutherford show.
Yeah, he joined the SEC football Saturday or whatever show that they SEC Mike.
Yeah, that SEC podcast.
SEC Mike, we got the win there in that transition. What's your fourth there? That was a huge one. Big for 2025, big for the radio show, for the station, all of it. What do you have, producer Matt?
Mine is the biggest sports news of the year and probably just the biggest news in general for anybody of the age of 30 to 12.
Producer Matt joins the
30
show.
to 12?
That's close, but John Cena retires.
Oh.
He's done
That's
forever.
right.
It's over.
Got beat too.
He did his last match. What was it? A week ago now?
Not a loser.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, he's a big loser.
It was emotional. He's gone.
Did you cry?
I did. I cried.
Man,
That's sad. That's my childhood right there.
Yeah.
That man was genuinely like Superman to like half of kids these days.
What do you think the message they're trying to send with all that is?
What message?
Like him going out, tapping out, losing.
Don't they always lose?
Wasn't his whole thing was no tap out or don't tap out or never give up or something like that, and then he went out giving up? What do you think they're trying to send? What message are they sending?
Maybe they're trying to tell children that, at some moments in life you do just got to kind of move on to your next chapter. You can't keep pushing for the same goals all the time. Sometimes it doesn't work out.
Okay.
And that's
Fair
okay.
I got engaged
works.
and
That works.
married in 2025.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty big
Did we
life.
act
You
or
got
tackle?
engaged
My
and
mom was-
married in the same year?
Yeah, we got engaged the day of the Kentucky-Arkansas basketball game,
Oh,
February
no.
1st.
Oh, no.
Yep.
That was a
Oh, yeah.
bad game.
It was a bad game. Apparently getting engaged around a Kentucky basketball game is bad luck. I don't know if you kept up with it from last season. The 3 players who got engaged right before they lost to Ohio State, and then I got engaged right before they lost to Arkansas. My mom texted me, wanted me to remind me that I got married.
Good of your mother.
Yeah.
When I asked my mother and father-in-law for their daughter's hand in marriage, this is not a joke, was bitten by their boxer pit bull rescue.
That's a good omen.
Great omen. The dog jumped up on the couch and bit right into my fat belly, had a hole in my stomach.
Did the dog ever?
Didn't apologize at all.
No, not
if
okay.
That's what you're asking. Oh, no.
Did it bite people? Was that
No,
something
it
that
was
it did?
like the nicest dog you'd ever. No, just kidding. That dog was a psycho. Hated that dog. Dog was a maniac. I say I hated that dog. Of course, I hated that dog. It bit me. They loved the dog. The dog was good to them. If you were in with the dog, you were in with the dog. I was not in with the dog, and I learned that the hard way on that fateful winter day in 2016. But it bit me, put a hole in my shirt, put a hole in my stomach. I was worried about all right, my wife or my fiance, soon to be fiance, will see me without my shirt on. What is she going to ask while there's a hole in my belly? Luckily, she's not overly aware. Didn't really come up. The engagement went okay. The dog passed away about 7 years later, and everything went okay. Producer Matt.
See, I would have just told her that you were just taking Ozempic, getting ready.
This was long before Ozempic.
Another
was the thing.
2025 moment.
Back then, you just had to work hard, buddy. That's a good one. Is that yours, Ozempic?
No, mine was John Cena.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do a fifth? Maybe the cruise, your legs, or
Ozempic. I'll do Ozempic.
Did you ever send us the video?
No, it's on my phone.
Yeah, we never got the video.
Yeah, I thought that was going in the group chat.
I'm definitely not going to send it to you.
Why wouldn't you send it to us?
I'll show it to you.
Send it to us.
I'm not doing that.
Come on. All right,
I
another
think it needs to go in the Kentucky Roll Call Twitter
I agree.
channel.
I agree. Texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line 502-414-1450 says, I think actually maybe we got them all.
Did you read the Robert one?
One thing that's helped me sleep, and I swear by this, is putting your phone on the opposite side of the room where you sleep. Screen time that close to sleep hinders you falling asleep and hinders you entering into REM.
Robert is making a good point there, 100%. And there's a bonus to that your phone, if you're using your phone as your alarm, you now have to at least get up or roll over to the other side of the bed to turn it off, right?
Yeah.
So, that's a good idea, Robert. I like that.
We have one more show in 2025. You all excited for that tomorrow?
I am.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do trivia with Corey Price, which will be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that. We will. Will we preview Alabama UK? Probably won't do that. I don't think. May not get that. But producer Matt, you got. We'll get more to that tomorrow. But you got U of L back on tonight.
I mean, finally, I haven't gotten to watch a U of L game since December the 12th when they played Memphis. That was the last one I got to watch.
U of L 8.5-point favorites. I like Cal. I mean, they've only lost one game. Cal's a decent team. I don't know if this is just U of L. They got Mikel Brown back 100%, and they've been bored, and it's been a long time since they've played basketball. But I think 8.5 for U of L traveling across the country right around the holidays. I don't know. It seems like too many points. Normally, this is a way for you all to make money. Me, to make money on the good teams just are kind of checked out around the holidays. With Christmas coming up, of course, last week, or New Year's coming up, which, of course, is tomorrow. Finals are over. People aren't on campus. It just kind of feels a bit like a vacation. Normally, it's smart to take the underdogs. I want to warn everybody, that is not a winning strategy this year. The favorites are covering at a big margin. So I only say that to give you a bit of a heads up on the California-Louisville game tonight at 9 o'clock. I think California covers. But with the way this week has gone, would suggest take Louisville to win big. 8.5, that opened at 5.5. So money all pouring into U of L. I'll take Cal in the points. I think U of L gets a narrow win, producer Matt, but I'll go ahead and take Cal. That's too many. You get Florida State, UNC tonight. I hate saying this, but it's just true. We have to be big UNC fans the rest of the year. And then that's pretty much all that's worth a fart tonight. But we get some good football tomorrow. We get some better basketball tomorrow. And we do have a couple football games as well today. Tennessee plays Illinois in the Music City Bowl. That is funny. Those two fan bases just played each other in a basketball game in Nashville. Now those two fan bases will play each other in a football game. Well, it won't be the fan bases playing, but they'll be back at it again for a football game. USC, TCU tonight. My one bet of the evening. Take USC. They're going to win big.
Okay.
That's my big bet for today.
All right.
I will be going heavy on it. Feel free to join me. That is the Alamo Bowl. I swear I think USC was in the Alamo Bowl last year. How can you go back to the back-to-back bowls? But don't forget what?
Don't forget the Alamo.
Never could. All right, play the music, producer Matt. We're back. Corey Price tomorrow. One more show. Stephen Peak, producer Matt Childers. I'm TJ Walker. This is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio.
Time flew